I'm Shazwan, I'm 39, I'm Malay.
And we've been together for 6 years. Married for 6 months.
Sadly married for 6 months.
Hi, I'm Tiara, I'm 26 and I'm Chinese Eurasian.
Hi, I'm Alex, I'm 31 and I'm Caucasian.
And we've been together for 2 years.
Hi, my name is Sean, I'm Indian Eurasian and I'm 22 years old.
And I'm Robin, I'm Chinese and I'm 21 years old.
And we've been together for about 6 months.
Never have I ever gotten weird stares in public when holding hands with my partner.
People from the public will tend to kind of look at us up and down.
We'll look at her, then they'll look at me, and then we'll be like,
Yeah,
give the weird face.
I would say older generations that are probably not so used to it.
He looks super Chinese.
Yeah, I got small eyes, so I pass off as a very tan Chinese sometimes.
I think at the beginning it just felt a bit uncomfortable, like people were just judging us, but over time we just kind of got used to it and then we just kind of didn't really let that affect us very much.
Never have I ever been hesitant to bring my partner home due to their race.
So it depends on like which family gathering that is. If it's like immediate family, I have no issue at all.
I guess it's the early stage now.
Yeah.
So the early stage is always a fear. But now we're married, so no choice now.
I mean, my family is already very multiracial in a sense. My mom is half Chinese, half Indian, so I think when it came to me dating someone who is not of my race, because I'm already kind of unique in a sense, doesn't really affect my family in any way.
It was always like, my mom never said anything against it, my dad never said anything against it. It's just that, like, you don't know which part of the family may not be okay with it. During Chinese New Year, I have a grand aunt, and when I brought him over one time to just introduce him, she looked a bit confused. And then my grand aunt goes like, so she dating the Indian one, is it? So it's like, I don't think it's an outrightly racist thing, but it's just small things like that.
I have been complimented for having an interracial relationship.
I think people just don't really think of it as a very big deal. So nobody has ever outrightly said anything. I did not expect that we would. But okay, it's cool.
So for us, it's just the festive celebrations when we celebrate Hari Raya or Chinese New Year. That's when either one of us will get complimented a lot because we will wear traditional clothes. Wow, 你的老公马来人啊
For me, the compliment, wow, you dating Chinese girl, wow, good job, man. Then I'm like, it's not that difficult, they're the majority, so
75%.
does it matter what race you're dating? You know what I mean? You're dating a girl, you're dating a guy, doesn't matter, you're just dating.
Never have I ever felt out of place when my partner and his or her same race friends speak only in their mother tongue.
Family side speaks a lot of Cantonese, so I'm just trying to pick up. It's very hard.
Yeah, but it does get very alienating. I guess as a Chinese in Singapore where we are the majority, it happens for him to be in an environment where everyone's speaking Chinese. And I think it's very rude for me to say, hey, can you not speak Malay? It's not really my place to say, hey, don't do that.
So deep. Okay. But we scold each other in our common languages.
Yeah, he speaks Chinese.
Yeah, my second language
better than
is
me, so
Mandarin, so
yeah,
so it's fine. I don't know, my granddad forced my mom to take Chinese. Then my mom was like, I can teach you Chinese, so might as well you learn Mandarin also. It's good to curry favor with her family also. So she was talking about the grand aunt, you just speak to her in Chinese, you can see her smile a bit more. Yeah.
Never have I ever found it hard to understand my partner's point of view due to different cultural identities.
Maybe.
Correct.
Both.
In a way, my family, even though they're pretty chill, that they're different races that we're dating, but our upbringings were a bit different. So my parents do tend to be a bit more traditional.
Yeah, mine's a bit more radical, I would say, because my family was all about, okay, you know what, let's just YOLO, just enjoy what you have now.
I think especially at the beginning, we had a lot of problems meeting in the middle when it comes to work or future and stuff like that.
Especially wedding preparations, it's the hardest shit ever. Can I say shit?
Yeah, I think the wedding planning part was quite
the balancing act of
of trying to understand each other's cultures, understand what takes priority.
Never have I ever wished I was the same race as my partner.
It's the whole minority thing, since she's Chinese, right, you can sort of see the bias in society, and I'm like, if I was Chinese, life would be so much easier. Yeah, but apart from that, I actually kind kind of rocks being Interracial.
I think we're both mixed in.
I think for us, it's like we already kind of formed our own identity, so it's just like I'm comfortable with where I am. So.
Yeah.
As a couple.
No, as a couple, no.
yeah.
We
I guess we
embrace
enjoy
our
it,
culture, yeah.
Yeah, we enjoy
Especially
the differences.
correct. Yeah. Yeah, but if it's contact in Singapore, then the answer changes to I have.
Yeah.
Never have I ever been questioned about my choice of partner due to racial differences.
Sort of, yeah. Like people do question like why Indian, why Chinese, and there's this whole thing of I think there's having a very traditional mindset of keeping the blood pure.
I think there are also stereotypes. The stereotype for Malay is like, oh, they're very lazy or they're not very smart. So it's like when we first started dating, I had people telling me, hey, you better be careful, next time your kids are maybe like not very smart anymore.
But too bad, we both got degrees. Haha. I'm very used to it, so
Which is a very sad thing.
there's a lot of things like we play guitar. I honestly don't want to play a guitar.
Yeah, like then they will say, oh, you always avoid that play football,
Yeah.
right? Then I'm like,
You
no,
cannot
we
play
have
football.
like one friend that does that.
Excuse me.
He is the ball!
My mom actually said, don't date Asian boy. And then after that, I was like, why? And she's like, oh, because they're all just like, they party and they don't know how to do things about it. And my mom's Eurasian, which is weird. So when I had my first boyfriend, I was like 16. And my first boyfriend was Eurasian. And then when we broke up, my mom was like, you see, I told you not to date a Eurasian boy.
I have learned a new language because of my partner.
I don't.
I understand like slight Mandarin.
Yeah.
So, but Cantonese is a whole new ball game. So yeah,
I picked up some words. Yes. Definitely his family, a lot of them will speak Malay. So there will be some words or terms that I will pick up along the way. But it also helps because actually my parents are Malaysians. I will actually ask him, hey, is this correct? Because my parents always say this.
I'm trying to learn French. I mean, it's super difficult. And we were talking about like possibly going to Europe, France at the end of the year, like to see his family and stuff. Yeah, so I'm trying to pick it up.
Actually, I want to change my answer. I learned from a family the language of love. So auntie, if you're watching this,
I don't have to say that thing anymore because I'm already married. Yeah.
Are racial or cultural differences the biggest barrier in your relationship?
For us, race isn't really a very big issue. It was mostly upbringing. So it's like different types of upbringing kind of shaped the way we see things and it made us view things very differently. So it did take a while for us to kind of compromise and then kind of adapt our worldviews and our viewpoints.
Actually, I've been saying this to him for many, many years already, that being with him is the easiest and the hardest thing to do. But the hardest part is really like getting over other people's expectations on us.
Yeah, that's true.
The racial part, it is a very big barrier. Yeah, but it can be overcome.
If he was Chinese and had the same exact personality, I think any like barrier or any like conflict that we have kind of will still be the same.
What are you most grateful to your partner for?
Alex's patience. It sounds so cheesy. Unending love.
Yeah, it gives me a lot of like grounding in a sense as well. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that.
This is like what happens after you get married. After married, you don't know when already.
He
Help you clean up, wash the house.
I get emotional very easily, and then he will just be like, "Hey, like chill lah." So initially I was
And
like,
it's not because I'm Malay, like just to point that out.
like the whole grounding thing also, where like I learned to let things be.
She has a lot of ideas, they are very nice. So I like it because it gives me a direction in life also. So I'm appreciative of my wife lah. And she also is very loving.
I think I'm really thankful for Sean because I'm a petty bitch. He makes the effort to communicate with me thoroughly, and I really appreciate that.
I think successful relationships and even friendships, you need to communicate. I had that notion, but she kind of taught me that as well. The fact that she's very tolerant of my issues also. I think every couple has their issues and things that they like and things that they don't like, but that's why it works. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, leave a comment in the comment section below and remember to like, share and subscribe. Bye!